Hello, lovelies. I know, I've been away for a minute. I'll explain why. Well, let me explain now. Look at this. Yeah. Remember how I took some XRP profits and I bought myself a 650cc motorcycle? Yeah. Well, turns out you gotta have really good gloves to ride that thing. And being the high risk person that I am, I got myself a few shiners. But c'est la vie, it is part of life. Sometimes you're on the bike, sometimes you get thrown off. Lesson learned. I won't be showing you my hands too often just because, they look much better now. But this is a week and a half down the road. That's why I have been under a rock and recovering and repairing and making sure my nervous system is getting the right amount of rest. In the meantime, also grew out this beard because I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. It's time to grow out a beard. This is going to be the Megadon video update of them all, for sure. Because I know right now is the time everybody needs to hear a lot of these things. What's been going on is exactly what we've been expecting in the world. Okay? First of all, if you're somebody who's sitting there like, I'm going to copy everything Sim does. Well, Sim does this kind of shit. So remember, we don't live the same life. Right? I live a very high risk life compared to you. I can tolerate a much higher level of risk. And also there are times when I just may disappear, like this, something happens to me and you're trying to wait for me. It just doesn't make sense for you to do stuff like that, but I'll keep advising you and I'm sure you'll keep following, but it's something I have to say. So now, what's been going on, Sim? Which way do we go? Do we go a left or do we go a right? Up or a down? Look, everything is going to go up and to the right, okay? Right now, just looking at this, the Fear and Greed Index, this is the one I like to use at CoinGlass, Fear and Greed. It's pretty neutral, right? We still haven't gone down into any deeper levels of fear. Bitcoin's still at 96,000 right now. So, we're right around that neutral zone. I think there is an opportunity for us to go down further and have a bit of a correction, but we're going to look at all the different coins. This is going to be a long video update, okay, with a lot fewer jokes because I'm not as funny once you humble me a little bit. So I think what we've seen is on the macro side, we've seen the liquidity pulling back from all the risky stuff. A lot of the safer stuff still hasn't tumbled fully, but it's starting to. But there's a lot of insane buying opportunities in the market. There's a lot of things to buy. So let's get right into it. First of all, some insane news is that the ISM finally came above 50. So remember, when it's above 50, that means good times is here. That means altcoins outperform Bitcoin. Okay, that means altcoin season usually happens when it goes above 50. Now, this thing comes out every month. Okay, so it could be that it goes above 50 now, and then next month it goes down a bit, next month it goes down a bit. This is the longest it's been down here in history. We've never seen this before. There's always this double dip process. This was COVID. This time around, it's just lower than we've expected for a long period of time. Why? I think this is why. I think the Fed's debts are going parabolic, and they're going to go parabolic for a long time until 2027. Now, from right around where we are now, they really take off. Up until now, the curve was, curving. It's looking curvy, but now it's starting to go mad bananas, as the technical analysts would say out there. So because of that, I think the business cycle has been down. Could it come down? Yes. Could it go up? Yes. Could it go left? Could it go right? Who fucking knows, to be honest. But all in all, good sign. It means the economy is starting to turn around, unless this thing takes a massive dump. Now, what am I waiting for? That's always a question. Sim, what are you doing? What are you waiting for? What I'm waiting for is one of these katanas. So this is the VIX, Volatility Index, on the weekly. When I say catching a katana, first of all, you should not catch a katana. Why? Because you get your fucking hands chopped off. Like, this is what you look like when you try to catch katanas, okay? But what I mean by katana is when volatility spikes like this. This was August 5th, major spike. Before that, COVID was the last spike. Before that, we've had these major spikes. where the world freaks out and panics and gives you an insane discount because volatility spikes. Has that happened now? No. So that's why I've just learned to wait and give it time. Now, if it doesn't happen, I'll still buy in, but I'd rather buy in late than early. Okay. Good things is that bond yields are starting to turn around. Remember, we look at bond yields like this. That means when it goes down, it's good for crypto and stuff. Another kind of flipped way to look at it is this, the TLT. This makes more sense. So when this goes up, this is telling you the ocean is going up. So the ocean looks like it has found a bottom, which is good, because the ocean going up is everything. Okay. Now, at the same time, the dollar looks like it's topped out. So that's a good sign. When dollar goes down, assets go up. That's good. Could it go up again and give, until out into March and stuff? We're going to look at liquidity, but dollar turning around is a good sign. Now, dollar turning around also means that you should do whatever the fuck you want. But if, let's say I'm somebody who spends in rupiah and I have a bunch of dollars, the dollar has gone up against the rupiah, so I get more rupiah for my dollars. When this chart is peaked out is a good time to convert from dollars to rupiah. That way, as the value goes down, you keep more rupiah. Just a way of thinking about it. But dollar looks like it's topped out. Now, the stock market, it just went and made another higher high just recently now. Okay? That's a little suspicious because we have this insane negative divergence, bearish divergence showing up on the stock market. But it just continues to make higher highs and higher highs, higher highs and higher lows. Now, the equally weighted stock index hasn't made a higher high. Remember, this is the truth-telling one. The S&P is the lying one. So this is signaling some weakness, but again, it'll be a correction. It's not going to be the collapse. It's not going to be the end of the world. Same thing here. We have negative divergences on the NASDAQ. Okay. Now, all of those things are saying that, yes, short term there could be some volatility, which would be great, which is what I'm hoping. I'm hoping the VIX to spike. That would give me an opportunity to buy. But all in all, we are up and to the right, mostly. And if you're like up and to the right, it's on these charts, it's like up and to the right, which is good, right? Money making season. So looking at this is where we get into the juicy nitty-gritty details. Okay, this is the others dominance. Remember, others dominance is all of the other cryptos other than Bitcoin and the top 10. This looks like it's pretty bottomed out. It could go lower, but it looks pretty low right now. So could it go as low as 150? Yes. I would be surprised if that happens. That's maybe a katana falls that low, maybe a wick goes that low. But all in all, it looks pretty bottomed out. Others dominance, same thing. It looks pretty bottomed out. Could it go a little bit lower? Sure, but at this point, this is saying that things are at good prices. Everything other than the top 10 looks like they're at good prices. At the same time, Bitcoin dominance just looks strong as ever. I wouldn't be surprised if this dumps down and then goes up again. Like at this point, I would just be guessing, to be honest. But when true altcoin season starts, when the actual money printing cycle starts, this will drop hard. And when this drops is when the real good times come into play. Okay. But another thing we're looking at is USDT dominance. Now this one, it's been pretty uncanny that it comes back and taps this line. When USDT dominance pumps, crypto dumps. When it goes down, crypto pumps. When the dominance of Tether goes up and down, it's vice versa to crypto. So it's gone up, crypto's gone down for the last little bit. Again, which way it's going to go, who knows? But I think over time, this is going to start to dump out because we've seen this growth over the last long time. But I think Tether's days are ending, so I think this is going to start to dump lower and lower. So let's back up. Very macro. They got to print so much money, nothing's changed. As a matter of fact, it's getting time for them to really get crazy about printing money. business cycle turning around, barring some kind of major catastrophe, which is still on the cards. March was the last time they did it. Let's see what happens this March. The VIX hasn't spiked yet, but when it spikes, there will be that volatility event. Trying to catch that and buying as low there as I can will be a good idea. Yields are starting to turn around. That's good. Dollar's starting to turn around. That's good. Stock market could have a nice little correction. That would be a healthy thing for it to happen, for it to go forward, which would also line up with the idea that the VIX is going to spike. Who knows? I know. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. But who knows, really? Nobody can guess these things. Others dominance, cheap, which saying crypto's cheap. Others market cap, saying crypto's cheap. Bitcoin dominance is saying Bitcoin's relatively strong or expensive comparatively, and we're going to see that. Okay. Now, looking at liquidity. Okay, first of all, I've been using the 12-week offset. It's been working a lot better, right? Looking at liquidity, one of the things that I noticed is Bitcoin has definitely diverged, which means Bitcoin has definitely gone off on its own way, right? XRP never really follows. It just kind of does whatever it wants to do whenever it feels like doing it. But what I found is actually, if you look at it from a perspective of like Atom or Dot, their correlations are much better. So it's like, yeah, it doesn't go all the way back, but right now they're pretty correlated to liquidity, which allows me to use them as a sign, right? So we had this dump out, we had this great wick down to whatever this was, $4, $3.70 range. That's a fantastic range to be at. So to me, I'm like, this looks like it's going to go down lower. So just looking at liquidity, let me make this smaller. Just looking at liquidity, we've had this dump out, and so many cryptos have done this. So if you want to look at it in general, you can look at the others chart. Okay, so you see others is following pretty closely. We had this dump out, we've had this recovery. We could probably have another dump out until sometime in mid-March. I'm going to wait until that time, mid-March to end March, because if something's going to happen, then it usually happens around March. Everything seems lined up. A lot of things are on the horizon. We're going to do a different video for that. Liquidity says it goes down. Afterwards, liquidity makes a healthy recovery. So that is the kind of run that we actually buy this dip for. I'm not going to wait until too late. But there are things tracking it, right? So Dot, even Matic is doing a pretty good job of tracking it. Matic's going lower. Atom is also doing a good job of tracking it. So what do I think is going to happen? I think I would give it more time. I think there's a bit of a recovery happening now, this week, next week, the week after, a few weeks to get everybody FOMO'd back in and excited about all this stuff before we go down into the lower levels of fear that are usually the ones to buy. If that doesn't happen, I'll still buy. But right now, that is my best thesis going forward. Okay, so one of the things that's happening is, this is on the weekly. Liquidity bottoms out around March, it looks like, and then it goes off on a run. All of this stuff, dollar recovery and bonds and everything, it lines up, it adds up to create that liquidity picture. But basically what we're seeing is, yes, it looks like we are going to have another amazing day in the liquidity world coming up. So, XRP itself. I know that's what a lot of you guys want. So we're just going to go right into the XRP. XRP, it's just been holding this zone for so long, okay? So just looking at it from this perspective, it's just been holding that zone. It still looks like it has another leg left. The lawsuit is about to end. The SEC ended their lawsuit is winding down their lawsuit with Coinbase. The next step is going to be that XRP is going to be the lawsuit, and the lawsuit is going to end for XRP, and that's going to be great news. Now, at the same time, looking at the fibs, it's been bouncing around this orange fib, and this green fib is now basically at $4. And that's been our base case for some time, that we go up to that $4 region. Probably break past that, but around that $4 region, I'd be very happy to take a decent bit of profits. Now, why? Because right now, XRP is at $150 billion market cap. Do I think it's going to go to $1.5 trillion market cap by the end of this bull run? That's at the edge of my believable possibility. Okay, so that means there's a 10x left in it. Let's say, let's just imagine from now $2.50, but at $4 it would be a lot more, right? So let's just say even from $2.50 to do a 10x, that's $25. Okay, that's a lot. So do I think it's going to go that high? No. I think 15, 17, somewhere around there is a good bet. So then $15 is a 6x from here. That's nice. That's really nice. But after doing the kind of performance it already has, are there other things that are going to do better? Yes. So then are those the ones that I would like to go with? Yes. That's why taking profits on this thing and moving down the risk curve makes a lot of sense. Now, why Trump? That question comes up a lot. Why Trump? So while I was at the Real Vision meetup, I met with some guys who are industry insiders, and they told me a few things. Trump is the first coin that was launched on Jupiter by the Meteora guys, okay? And Jupiter has this functionality called DLMM, Decentralized Liquidity Market Maker. They use a liquidity pool called JITO, okay? What this DLMM allows you to do is it allowed them to set basically they're the house, they're the market makers, they as in Trump and the team who's running all this, and they set a functionality into the system that allows them to be able to withdraw liquidity just from the volatility in the coin, not from selling the coins. I know this might get complicated, but what it means is it's a completely new way to launch coins. And also it's the first human meme coin, Trump. It was at a discount. It's still at a discount. It's a fantastic buy as far as I'm concerned. But this DLMM functionality means that they make a shit ton of money from volatility. So you're going to see insane volatility in this coin. That is one of the reasons why it's a good bet. Melania was launched on the same thing. What's his name? The Javier Milei coin that just went terribly is also launched on the same thing. So that's why for me I was like, I could take a bet like Trump, because I know, is Trump going to do, like, what's the market cap at now? Coin market cap. My brain's not working. What are we at here? $3 billion market cap now. Do I think it's going to do more than 3 billion? Yeah. I think it's definitely going to go above 3 billion. Could it go to 30 billion? Easily. Could it go to 300 billion? Not out of the question. That would be 100x from here. Okay, let's say, could it go to 100 billion? Yeah. That's a 30x from here. So do I make a 30x bet that I can leave for the long term? That's a risky bet for sure, but knowing all of these insider things, buying the thing that everybody hates when they hate it, yes. So that was the reason for taking the bet on Trump. So I'm going to go down to the watch list and analyze all these coins now. Okay, Bitcoin right now, as far as I'm concerned, it's not expensive, it's not cheap. It's kind of middle, right? But one thing that we're seeing happen here, what is going on there? 340. I don't know why this is, okay, I'll just do this. Okay, so right now, it's basically just hugging this white fib. Okay, if it drops below, which I think it's gonna, it'll float down here in the 80s, somewhere in the 80s probably. I don't think it goes down to 70, but who knows at this point? Liquidity. If we layer liquidity on top, it's saying that it should. I mean, It's not following liquidity at all anyway. But according to liquidity, it could have gone down all the way down to the 50s. Do I think that's going to happen? No. Raul's charts show it go down to the 80s. Do I think that's going to happen? Yes. But liquidity we've already seen. These ribbons that everybody loves so much, I think it's now just fighting around that region. I think it'll drop sharply lower, and that'll freak a lot of people out. I think that is a good time to buy. ETA within the next little while. EXR pains. What else did I want to talk about? Yeah, just do the watch list. XRP, it's finding support around that orange fib. Again, I think it's going to go up to this range. That would be great. XLM actually broke down below its orange fib, finding support on the white. Could it go all the way up to the green? Yeah, wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Solana. So Solana is now just breaking down below that white fib. And Solana has been doing this thing where, all the meme coins were launched on it. Now the narrative's turning around perfectly in time for Solana to release a bunch of tokens onto the market in March. It's the largest release that's happened in a long time. Nobody wants to talk about it. But we're all acting like, oh, this is just because of the meme coins. No, there's fundamentals behind it. So this is basically saying that now, if you look at this, right, Bitcoin's still holding really stable. Solana's starting to weaken. Sui, same thing. It's weakened a decent bit. Could it go lower than this white fib? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes down to that $1.50-ish range. So Solana starting to weaken, Sui starting to weaken. As you go down the risk curve, you see that the riskiest things have dropped the most. The medium risk things have dropped decently. The lowest risk things are still kind of holding out for that final flush out. So there's different times that different things happen in the market. So Near's at a great discount. Right now, it's anything below this blue fib is fantastic. It also doesn't have a lot of the data for these fibs to work perfectly. But Near's at a good discount. I would be happy to buy it around the 270 range. It's already tapped that. When it goes lower, I will buy it. Or I would hypothetically buy it. Atom, fantastic buying price. Amazing. Epic. Dot, fantastic buying price. Matic, discounts like you've never seen. People are writing it off, yet the world runs on it. Jupiter, is that a good discounted price? Yeah. Like I'm actually, I missed this last Katana, but again, I'm gonna give it a few more weeks and then pick this up around that 70 cent range. That's a great buy. But again, even don't be too greedy, right? I think when you guys asked the question that, hey, is 74 cents good? Yeah, 74 cents is great. 70 cents is great. Look, this coin just launched. This is like asking if you should buy Solana around $1, right? In the long term, it's not going to matter. Buying it anywhere around this range is fantastic. I'd say even like, below 80 cents is a hell of a discount. Anything around 70 cents, unbelievable. Unbelievable, the greatest. Pith, ridiculous discount right now. And if you're asking why am I not picking it up right now, first of all, it would all be hypothetical. Secondly, because I've just learned to wait. I've learned that whenever I've done something in the markets, doing it too early was always the problem. It wasn't that I did it too late. Okay, very rarely was it that I did it too late. So I'm going to let liquidity play out, let this narrative play out, and then pick it up. But it still looks like it's at an amazing discount. Jito, which I've added to this list, is at a good price. It's not at the worst price, but it could drop lower. It's at a good price to buy. Render is now in the good price zone. I'm happy to, this 330-ish range is amazing. But right now, picking it up for anywhere between $4, $5 and $3.30 is an amazing discount. Now, GOAT is one of the ones that I'm removing from my list. It could do well, but it is an AI agent play, and those things came and went like nobody's business, and that's why this thing is at a, what are we at? Let's say this thing is at a 93% discount right now. If you want to take that bet, it's not a bad bet to take. Now, actually, let's just look at that for a second. Okay, so let's go back to Atom. Okay, this is Atom on the weekly. Atomis is at a 91% discount. If I give you a 91% discount on something and you don't buy it, I will come to your house and I will kick you in the cojones. Okay, so now Sui. What's Sui at? Well, Sui is only at a, right now it's at a whatever, 39, 40% discount. 35% discount. It went all the way down to a 55% discount. Do I think it's going to give a bigger discount? Yes. Do I like bigger discounts? Yes. I'm Indian. Come on. Well, what do you expect? Solana just made an all-time high, and now it is at a 41% discount. For it to give a bigger discount, I wouldn't be surprised. So this is a way to actually look at it. GOAT, 93% discount. I'm taking it off my list because it doesn't have a strong narrative. Now check this out. Look at how strong SPX has been. Okay? This says a lot about a lot. Now, could it be that in this final flush out, this thing just tumbles? Yes, I would be super happy if that happened. But during all this turbulence, this thing has held up super strong. And this is a meme coin, right? So right now, we're looking at a 61% discount. That's not bad. But would I be happy to buy it at a bigger discount? Fuck yeah. Giga, same thing. Giga's doing well right now. It's at 84, 85% discount. That's pretty good. See, the thing is, it doesn't look that crazy when you look at it on the log chart, but if you look at it on the regular chart, like that's what it looks like, right? So just something to consider. But in this fib life, it's at kind of a median range. For me to get a bigger discount on it, I'd be happy. Now, Trump right now is at on coins like this, you can't really trust the fibs because it just doesn't have enough data on it. But it's at a 78% discount right now. I bet most people will not buy it. But again, great discount. Pocket, it's like, and the thing is, the fibs you can't trust on Pocket because they issued a bunch of coins here, but it's at a great discounted price here. I mean, it did a 50x or a 50-cent price in the last little while, and it's at 2 cents right now. That's a ridiculous discount. Peak is one of the ones that's been they've asked to add to my list. I have added it. This one is at a nice healthy discount of right now 75%. Could it go lower? Wouldn't be surprised. See, it's completely normal for first cycle coins to do a 90, 92, 93, 95% discount and then go from there, right? Ethereum fell 96% in the previous bull market, in the previous bear market before 2020. And it's Ethereum, right? So even just looking at ETH is at a good buying price right now. ETH is cheap. Anything like 2,600, 2,500 and below is an absolute discount and a half on ETH. I'm going to do a bunch more coins because I know you guys love it. Link, not at a bad buying price. Link is one of the solid ones. Could it go lower a little bit? Sure, it's a safe one. Algo, not at a bad buying price, fair enough. Aave, normal fair price. AVAX, discount. Celestia, hell of a discount. Quant, cheap, not bad at all. If you need to see one of your coins and lines and stuff, just pause the video. I'm going to rush through this. Okay, Cello at a discount. HBAR, already had an amazing day. God bless. Uniswap, cheap. Ondo. Ondo's on a run. Fair priced. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes lower. Checks, expensive. XDC, already had a solid run. These things had their XRP moment alongside. It's at a fair price. Could it go lower? Maybe. It might be behaving like XRP. Filecoin, cheap, but this thing's been cheap for a while. It hurts to hold, so be careful with it. Theta, cheap. Orca, cheap. Orca's really cheap. Okay. Doge, fair priced. Yeah, dancing Doge, dancing Doge. Shiba, good discount. Good discount, good price, yeah. Pepe, fair enough. Whiff, cheap. Wow, whiff is, wow. What are we looking at? What are we looking at over here, Captain? Whiff is at an 86% discount, guys. One day you will look back and be like, holy shit, I should have bought it at whatever, 68 cents, because it'll go to some bananas number. Bonk. Like a 70% discount, 70-ish percent. Bonk, not a bad price. Popcat, kind of fell off of a cliff, this one. See, with memes, you really got to be careful, because things, it's like Popcat, Mog. Yeah. See, you can see like the cat memes have all gone crushed. Now, could they come back? Yes. Is it likely that they come back? Yes. But that's why I'm focusing on buying the really solid memes that have the kind of top tier cultiness, and that's SPX, Giga, and Trump for me. Okie dokie. IMX, cheap. And Injective, cheap. Engine, cheap. Gaming hasn't even hit yet. So this is metaverse and gaming. ADA. Yeah, fair priced. Not too cheap. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the watch list that I would like to look at today. So, again, just to reiterate, looking forward, the most insane money printing cycle of our lifetimes is still ahead of us. It's actually at our doorsteps. Something has to happen for them to have an excuse to do this. The world seems stretched, and the rubber band feels ready to snap. So I'm still thinking that by March something happens. Either way, if it does or it doesn't matter, because we go in and we buy. Okay? We as in me and my hypothetical, me, myself, and I, schizophrenic people in my head. Others, cheap, could it get a little cheaper? Yes. So in this process is the time to buy, and then don't fuck with it. Don't touch it. Okay? If you're going to try to catch a katana, you better have hands like this. If you don't, I would still recommend just dollar cost averaging into the process. Starting to dollar cost average now until the end of, let's say, March is a great idea. This timeline is saying, yeah, like the end of March is a great idea. Let's say, we got 1 week left in whatever month this is. I don't even remember what month comes before, February. Then that's 5 weeks left. That's perfect, because that means I would break it up into whatever I'm going to invest into 20%, and take that and invest it into, let's say, 5 coins total between all of them. That makes it easy. 20% between 5 means 4% goes into each coin. 20% deployed today, 20% deployed in a week, 20% deployed in another week. That evens this whole thing out and makes sure that no matter which way things go, you're good. Because looking back, this is like getting the discounts that we had back here, pre-COVID style, right? I'm a little bit riskier of an investor, so I'll follow my different strategy. Other than that wasn't too long, okay? Stay safe out there. Make sure you wear gloves before you ride, because this ride is about to get bumpy in a good way. All right, see you next time. Much love.